my name is Deanne, and this is Deanne's Treasure Studio, where I read content not available on Audible. We will commence with our journey. Free Reading 2024 Player's Handbook, Chapter 3, Character Class, Rogue. Rogues are cunning, adaptable people whose skill set includes stealth, agility, subterfuge, wit, and resourcefulness. In Dungeons and Dragons, there is no difference, really. Here we step into a wardrobe of fantasy where each stat block breathes life into a newborn hero or knave. Core rogue traits. Primary ability is dexterity. Hit point dice D8 per rogue level. Saving throw proficiencies, dexterity, and intelligence. Skill proficiencies, choose 4. Acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, or stealth. Weapon proficiencies. Simple weapons and martial weapons that have the finesse or light properties. Tool proficiencies. Thieves' tools. Armor training. Light armor. Starting equipment. Choose A or B. Leather armor, 2 daggers, short sword, short bow, 20 arrows, quiver, thieves' tools, burglar's pact, and 8 gold pieces. Or B, 100 gold pieces. Rogues rely on cunning, stealth, and their foes' vulnerabilities to get the upper hand in any situation. They have a knack for finding the solution to just about any problem. A few even learn magical tricks to supplement their other abilities. Many rogues focus on stealth and deception, while others refine skills that help them in dungeon environment, and such as climbing, finding and disarming traps, and opening locks. In combat, rogues prioritize subtle strikes over brute strength. They would rather take one precise strike than wear an opponent down with the barrage of blows. Some rogues begin their careers as criminals, while others use their cunning to fight crime. Whatever a rogue's relation to the law, no common criminal or offender of the law can match the subtle brilliance of the greatest rogues. Becoming a rogue as level 1 character, gain all the traits in the core rogue traits table, gain all the rogues level 1 features, which are listed in the rogues features table. As a multi-class character, gain the following traits of the core rogue traits table. Hit points, die, proficiency in 1 skill of your choice from the rogue skill list, proficiencies with thieves' tools, and training with light armor. Gain the rogue's level 1 features, which are listed in the rogue features table. Rogue class features. As a rogue, you gain the following class features when you reach the specified rogue levels. These features are listed in the rogue features table. Level 1, expertise. You gain expertise in 2 of your skill proficiencies of your choice. Sleight of hand and stealth are recommended if you have proficiency in them. At rogue level 6, you again gain expertise in 2 more of your skill proficiencies of your choice. Level 1, sneak attack. You know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to 1 creature you hit with an attack roll if you have advantage on the roll and the attack uses a finesse or ranged weapon. The extra damage type is the same as the weapon's type. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target. The ally doesn't have the incapacitated condition, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. The extra damage increases as you gain rogue levels, as shown in sneak attack column of the rogues features table. Level 1, Thieves' Cant. You picked up on various languages in the communities where you applied your roguish talents. You know Thieves' Cant and one other language of your choice, which you choose from the language tables in Chapter 2. Level 1, Weapon Mastery. Your training with weapons allows you to use the mastery properties of 2 kinds of weapons of your choice with which you have proficiencies, such as daggers and short bows. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change the kinds of weapons you choose. For example, you can switch using mastery properties of scimitars and short swords. At the top of the page, you have rogue features listed from level 1 to 20 and your sneak die attack and all the extra things you get in your bonus proficiencies. So, we have level 2, Cunning Action. Your quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly. On your turn, you can take one of the following actions as a bonus action: dash, disengage, or hide. Level 3, Rogue Subclass. You gain a rogue subclass of your choice. The arcane trickster, assassin, soul knife, and thief subclasses are detailed after this class description. A subclass is a specialization that grants you features at certain rogue levels. For the rest of your career, you gain each of your subclasses' features that are of your rogue level or lower. Level 3, Steady Aim. As a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on the next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this feature only if you haven't moved during this turn, and after you use it, your speed is 0 until the end of the current turn. Level 4, Ability Score Improvement. You gain Ability Score Improvement feat. See Chapter 5 or another feat of your choice for which you qualify. You gain this feature again at rogue levels 8, 10, 12, and 16. Level 5, Cunning Strike. You've developed cunning ways to see your sneak attack. To use your sneak attack, When you deal sneak attack damage, you can add one of the following cunning strike effects. Each effect has a die cost, which is the number of sneak attack damage die you must forego to add the effect. You remove the die before rolling, and the effect occurs immediately after the attack's damage is dealt. For example, if you add the poison effect, remove 1d6 from the sneak attack's damage before rolling. If the cunning strike effect requires a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus. Poison. Cost 1d6. You add a toxin to your strike, forcing the target to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target has the poisoned condition for 1 minute. At the end of each of its turns, the poisoned target repeats the save, ending the effect on itself on a success. To use this effect, you must have the poisoner's kit on your person. Trip. Cost 1d6. If the target is large or smaller, it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or have the prone condition. Withdraw. Cost 1d6. Immediately after the attack, you move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Level 5, Uncanny Dodge. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to have the attack's damage against you round down. Level 5, Evasion. You can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain dangers. When you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, and only half damage if you fail. You don't use this feature if you have the incapacitated condition. Level 7, Reliable Talent. Whenever you make an ability check that uses one of your skills or tool proficiencies, you can treat a d20 roll as a 9 or lower on a 10. As a 10, excuse me. Let me read that. You can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. Level 11, Improved Cunning Strike. You can use up to 2 cunning strike effects when you deal sneak attack damage, paying the die cost for each effect. Level 14, Devious Strikes. When you practiced new ways to use your sneak attack deviously, the following effects are now among your cunning strike options. One of those is daze. Cost is 2d6. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or on its next turn. It can do only one of the following move or take an action as a bonus action. Knockout. Cost 6d6. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or it has the unconscious condition for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. The unconscious target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Obscure. Cost 3d6. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or it has the blinded condition until the end of its turn. Level 15, Slippery Mind. Your cunning mind is exceptionally difficult to control. You gain proficiency in wisdom and charisma saving throws. Level 18, Elusive. You're so evasive that attackers rarely gain the upper hand against you. No attack roll can have advantage against you unless you have the incapacitated condition. Level 19, Epic Boon. You gain an Epic Boon feat. See Chapter 5, or an additional feat of your choice for which you qualify. Boon of the Night Sprint is recommended. Level 20, Stroke of Luck. You have a marvelous knack for succeeding when the need to. If you fail a d20 test, you can turn the roll into a 20. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Rogue subclasses. A rogue subclass is a specialization that grants you features at certain rogue levels. A specialized in the subclass, as a section presents in the Arcane Trickster, Assassin, Soul Knife, and Thief subclasses. Arcane Trickster. Enhance stealth with arcane spells. Some rogues enhance their fine-honed skills of stealth and agility with spells, learning magical tricks to aid them in their trade. Some arcane tricksters are their talents as pickpockets and burglars, while others are pranksters. Level 3, Spellcasting. You have learned to cast spells. See Chapter 7 for the rules on spellcasting. The information below details how you use those rules as an arcane trickster. Cantrips. You know 3 cantrips, Mage Hand, and 2 other cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell list. See the class's descriptions from this list. Mind Sliver and Minor Illusion are recommended. Whenever you gain a rogue level, you can replace one of your cantrips except Mage Hand. with another wizard cantrip of your choice. When you reach rogue level 10, you learn another wizard cantrip of your choice. Spell slots. An arcane trickster spell casting table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your level 1 plus spells. You regain all expended spell slots when you finish a long rest. Prepared spells of level 1 plus. You prepare all the list of levels 1 spells, plus spells that are available for you to cast with this feature. To start, choose 3 level 1 wizard spells. Charm Person, Disguise Self, and Fog Cloud are recommended. The number of spells on your list increases as you gain rogue levels, as shown in the prepared spells column of the Arcane Trickster spell casting table. That's a mouthful. Whenever the number increases, choose additional wizard spells until the number of your spells on your list matches the number of the Arcane Trickster spell casting table. The chosen spells must be of a level for which you have spell slots. For example, if you're a level 7 rogue, your list of prepared spells can include 5 wizard spells of level 1 or 2 in any combination. At the top of the page, you have your Arcane Trickster spell casting chart, rogue level 3 to 20 with all your prepared numbers of slots. Changing your prepared spells. Whenever you gain a rogue level, you can replace one spell of your list with another wizard spell for which you have spell slots. Spell casting ability. Intelligence is your spell casting ability for your wizard spells. Spell casting focus. You can use your arcane focus as a spell casting focus for your wizard spells. Level 3. Mage Hand. Legerdemain. When you cast Mage Hand, you can cast it as a bonus action, and you can make the spectral hand invisible. You can control the hand as a bonus action, and through it, you can make dexterity sleight of hand checks. Level 9, Magical Ambush. If you want the invisible condition, when you cast a spell on a creature, it is a disadvantage on the saving throw, and it makes against the spell on the same turn. It has the disadvantage on any saving throw it makes against the spell on the same turn. Level 13, Versatile Trickster. You gain the ability to distract targets with your Mage Hand. When you use the trip option on your Cunning Strike on a creature, you can also use that option on another creature within 5 feet of the spectral hand. Level 17, Spell Thief. You gain the ability to magically steal the knowledge of how to cast a spell from another spellcaster. Immediately after the creature casts a spell that targets you or includes you in its area effect, you can take a reaction to force the creature to make an intelligence saving throw. The DC equals your spell save DC. On a failed save, you negate the spell's effect against you, and you steal the knowledge of the spell if it is at least level 1 and of a level you can cast. It doesn't need to be a wizard spell. For the next 8 hours, you have the spell prepared. The creature can't cast it until the 8 hours have passed. Once you steal a spell with this feature, you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. Moving on. Assassin. Practice the grim art of death. An assassin's training focuses on using stealth, poison, and disguise to eliminate foes with deadly efficiency. While some rogues who follow this path are hired killers, spies, or bounty hunters, the capabilities of this subclass are equally useful for adventuring facing a variety of monstrous enemies. Level 3, assassinate. You're adept in ambushing a target, granting you the following benefits. Initiative. You have advantage on initiative rolls. Surprising attacks. During the first round of each combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. If your sneak attack hits any target during that round, the target takes extra damage of the weapon's type equal to your rogue level. Level 3, Assassin's Tools. You gain Disguise Kit and a Poisoner's Kit, and you have proficiency with them. Level 9, Infiltration Expertise. You're an expert at the following techniques that aid your infiltrations. Masterful Mimicry. You can unerringly mimic any person's speech, handwriting, or both if you have spent at least 1 hour studying them. Roving Aim. Your speed isn't reduced by 0 by using steady aim. Level 13. Envenom Weapons. When you use the poison option on your cunning strike, the target also takes 2d6 poison damage whenever it fails the saving throw. This damage ignores resistance to poison damage. Level 17. Death Strike. When you hit with your sneak attack on the first round of combat, the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, DC 8 plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus, or the attack's damage is doubled against the target. Moving on, Soul Knife. Strike foes with psionic blades. A soul knife strikes with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic. These rogues discover psionic power within themselves and channel it through their roguish work. As a soul knife, your psionic abilities might have haunted you since childhood, revealing their full potential only as you experience the stress of adventure. Or you might have sought out an order of psionic adepts and spent years learning how to manifest your powers. Level 3, Psionic Power. You harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. It is represented by your psionic energy die, which fuels a certain powers you have from this subclass. The Soul Knife Energy Dice table shows the number of these dice you have when you reach certain rogue levels, and the table shows the dice size. Soul Knife Energy Dice. Level 3, D6, number 4. Level 5, D8, 6. Level 9, D8, 8. Level 11, D10, 8. Level 13, D10, 10. Level 17, D12, 12. Any feature in this subclass that uses psionic energy die uses only the dice from the subclass. Some of your powers expand a psionic energy die as specified in the power's description, and you can't use a power if it requires you to use a die when your psionic energy dice are all expended. You regain one of your expended psionic energy dice when you finish a short rest, and you regain all when you finish a long rest. Psi Bolstered Knack. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool which you have proficiency, you can roll one psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning a fail into a success. The die is expended only if the roll succeed. Psionic Whispers. You can establish telepathic communication between yourself and others. As a magic action, choose one or more creatures. You can see up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus. And then roll one psionic energy die. For a number of hours equal to the number rolled, the chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. To send or receive messages, no action required. You and the other creatures must be within 1 mile of each other. A creature can end the telepathic connection at any time. No action required. The first time you use this power after each long rest, you don't expend the psionic energy die. All other times you use the power, you expend the die. Level 3. Psychic Blades. You can manifest shimmering blades of psychic energy. Whenever you take an attack action or make an opportunity attack, you can manifest psychic blades in your free hand and make the attack with that blade. The magic blade has the following traits. Weapon category: simple melee. Damage on a hit: 1d6 psychic plus the ability modifier used for the attack roll. Properties: finesse. Thrown, range 60/120 feet. Mastery, Vex. You can use the property, and it doesn't count against your number of properties you can use with weapon mastery. The blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses its target, and it leaves no marks if it deals damage. After you attack with the blade on your turn, you can make a melee or ranged attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action on the same turn, if your other hand is free to create it. The damage die of this bonus action is a d4 instead of a d6. Level 9. Soul Blades. You can now use the following powers with your psychic blades. Honing Strikes. If you make an attack roll with your psychic blade and miss the target, you can roll one psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this causes the attack to hit, the die is expended. Psychic Teleportation. As a bonus action, you can manifest a psychic blade extended in one psychic energy die and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see up to a number of feet away equal to 10 times the number rolled. You then teleport to that space and the blade vanishes. Level 13. Psychic Veil. You can wield a veil of psychic static to mask yourself. As the magic action, you can gain the invisible condition for 1 hour or until you dismiss this effect. No action required. This invisibility ends early, immediately after you deal damage to a creature or you force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest unless you expend a psychic energy die. No action required or restore your use of it. Level 17. Rend Mind. You can sweep your psychic blades through a creature's mind. When you use these psychic blades to deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can force that target to make a wisdom saving throw DC 8 plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus. If the save fails, the target has the stunned condition for 1 minute. The stunned target repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest unless you expend 3 psionic dice. No action required to restore the use of it. Moving on to the Thief. Hunt for treasure as a classic adventurer. A mix of burglar, treasure hunter, and explorer, you are the epitome of an adventurer. In addition, in proving your agility and stealth, you gain abilities useful to delving into ruins and getting maximum benefit from the magic items you find there. Level 3. Fast Hands. As a bonus action, you can do one of the following. Sleight of hand. Make a dexterity stealth of hand check to pick a lock or disarm a trap with thieves' tools or pick a pocket. Use an object. take the utilization action or take the magic action to use a magic item that requires an action. Level 3, second story work. You're trained to get into especially hard to reach places, granting you these benefits. Climber. You gain the climbing speed equal to your speed. Jumper. You can determine your jump distance using your dexterity rather than your strength. Level 9, Supreme Sneak. You gain the following cunning strike option. Stealth attack. Cost 1d6. If you have the hide action invisible condition, this attack doesn't end the condition on you if you end the turn behind 3/4 cover or total cover. Level 13, use magic device. You've learned how to maximize the use of magical items, granting you the following benefits. Attunement. You can attune up to 4 magic items at once. Charges. Whenever you use a magic item property that expends charges, roll d6. On a roll of 6, you use the property without expending the charges. Scrolls. You can use any spell scrolls using intelligence as your spellcasting ability for the spell. If the spell is a cantrip or a level 1 spell, you can cast it reliably. If the scroll contains a higher level spell, you must first succeed on the intelligence arcana check, a DC 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, you cast a spell from the scroll. On a failed check, the scroll disintegrates. Level 17, Thieves' Reflexes. You're adept in lying in ambush and quickly escaping danger. I'm going to read that again. You are adept in lying ambushes and quickly escaping danger. You can take 2 turns during the first round of any combat. You take your first turn on your normal initiative and your second turn at your initiative -10. That concludes the rogue. Remember, like, subscribe, and until next time.